LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you are. I hope you're well. I'm so glad to have you here. Another Tuesday talk, and the topic for today is how do I know it's the right time for me to move on? Should I stay here or start looking for something different? And this conversation is definitely something that very senior people, those who are really good at their job, they always challenged by this question: should I stay or is it time to move on? If you've been here before on my Tuesday talks, welcome back. And if it's the first time that you're here, I want to say to you that I always talk about two topics: landing higher profile roles for those who are unapologetic and want to do something more exciting, more challenging, uh, higher paying, higher position, bigger title. All of that is great. And second topic that I talk about is creating higher impact roles. If you are in C-level positions, in executive roles, you already have achieved all of those external goals that you have. So what is next for you? That is the conversation around transitioning out or doing some consulting or advisory in conjunction with what you're currently doing. So it doesn't mean that you need to leave your job, but it probably is something that you are thinking about. And why do I do what I do? A girl that her background is software engineering and then later on business transformation and business agility. Because throughout my career, I've always seen people that they are really, really good at their job, but they've always gone unseen or unnoticed or unappreciated. You get to a certain level, and then it seems everything gets blocked, everything just gets stagnated. What happens there? And I wanted to address that. And the reason behind that is I believe our corporate structure needs to change. The way we design roles and the way we promote people is just outdated. So the best way to change it is to find right people, develop them, get them to C-level positions so they can change the structure and architecture of the businesses that we currently have. Majority of ways we manage our businesses, they are from industrial era, even older than that. They belong to slavery. So we got to change that. And what I do is basically that, trying to develop new leaders so they can change the structure of corporate life. The topics on Tuesdays always have a set structure. I always talk about a concept, a theory, a topic, then real life example either from myself or my clients or past students. And I always make an invitation to next steps. Otherwise, what's the point of learning a theory or becoming aware of something that exists, but we can't turn it to a clear action? Topic for today. How do I know it's time to move on to the next role or I need to stick around here for a little bit more? There are two types of triggers that you start observing when you start thinking about this question and trying to explore your options. First one is internal triggers, and second one is external triggers. External, such as change of org chart, change of market, change of technology or trends or economy or war or any of those stuff is quite annoying. So today I'm going to talk to you about internal triggers. And in my research for doing understanding and better, I could find a few, and I found 5 of them are one of the most common types of internal triggers. And first one is passion and purpose. Second one is the skills, competency, and the things that you are really good at them. The third one is basically burnout and stress. Fourth one is value misalignment, where you are. And the last one, which is my favorite one, and the most common one, is growth stagnation, where you're no longer learning. So I talk about each one individually and then give you real life examples and what are the internal conversations that you might have internally. So then you can say, you can make a decision. The key thing about the distinction between internal and external triggers is important. Internal triggers don't get quieter. In fact, the pain grows as time passes. Unlike external triggers, that it's like someone pressing your doorbell. Okay, you hear it, you know it, you either respond to it or not. It's very clear, and it's you either get used to it or until it becomes an external force, you don't need to do anything about it. However, internal triggers, they're always there, they never get quieter and get deeper and deeper. So, the first one, which is the purpose and passion, is truly because of the things that you believe, your value system, your belief system. It's always going to be part of who you are and what your core essence is. And this is one of those ones that after you hit all your external milestones, all your external goals, such as the salary that you want, the title you want, you get the mortgage, you pay it, kids and husband and wife, or all that is in good place, cars, holidays. Once those external goals are achieved, then the real purpose and passion and the things that you believe will surface. And these are the things that are quite deep inside you. So the likelihood of you being able to ignore them is quite low. An example indicator as how you can recognize it is constant boredom, indifference. So it's not that you don't care anymore, but nothing excites you about your job. Is that if somebody says to you 20K more, 50K more, you're just like, yeah, okay, I can do it. I can take it or leave it. That's where you know that boredom, indifference is the sign that, you know, it's good what I currently have, but there's no passion, no fire, no excitement behind the opportunities or your current work. So I want you to be mindful of that internal feeling. The second one is skill competency and mismatch. This is not about new AI tool coming in and you just like, oh, I don't know this tool, or it's not about the new financial paradigm such as crypto coming. It's not about that, because you can truly learn anything. You got here because you knew how to learn something. So your problem is not learning something. This is about the types of intelligence that needs to be developed in you. In my research in multiple intelligence and the types of intelligence that we have, there are about 9 of them. Interpersonal, spatial, nature, so many different types of intelligence. We normally are good at 1 or 2 or 3 of those ones. So after a while, if the job that is required of us requires a type of talent or intelligence that we haven't developed that, we will start feeling, stressed, uncomfortable. And the key in this case is fear. and the phrases or internal conversations that, oh God, I'm not going to be relevant. I'm going to get sacked. My people that are reporting to me are going to be taking over. And these are the types of internal fear when it comes to skill mismatch, which is about the types of skills that we have, not a specific skill. So be mindful of the internal conversation. It's about your ability to do the job or not do the job in the future or in the new context. The third one, burnout and stress. This is a topic that is commonly talked about. It's everywhere in anywhere is about mental health. Well, one of the reasons that you start thinking about your changing your job is like, okay, this is too much. I'm always tired. I'm always exhausted. Even I wake up tired. I go to work, I'm tired. I take a break, I'm tired. So the burnout part, there are about 6 contributors to burnout, and this is something that I experienced myself for first time in my life. And as soon as I felt it and went through a 6 months recovery period, I was like, okay, how do I stop getting into burnout again? So I looked inside and deeper to find out. But one of the key contributors to burnout is not actually heavy load, is not the amount of work or type of work. It's actually when the work is unfair and you constantly feel at work that, oh, this is not fair, this is not fair, this is not fair. So I really, 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 really want you to start thinking about and being conscious and aware if you have the feeling of this is unjust, and it's not fair, particularly if you have been promised something for a while and you haven't been getting the promotion that you've been promised. Excuse me. So that was burnout, and the cause of it, and the feeling is exhaustion. And one key contributor that I highlighted was unfair feeling or being subject to something unfair or unjust. Excuse me. The fourth one, value mismatch or misalignment. It's one of those things that is not so much spoken. And particularly the more senior you become, you've been hired to lead this organization. You have quite critical position, but you well aware of what's going on, and there are deals, decisions, agreements that you do know they're not right. You are aware of their impact on the people, on the society, greater good, and you know this is not right. And the sign for you to be aware of that, because a lot of these decisions, they're quite subtle and the impact of it is not immediate. It's not that just we are just, polluting this river, which is quite visual and tangible and prominent, is something quite subtle. So the sign for you to detecting yourself is this. If you feel you can withdraw yourself from putting your name against the decision. I recently had a client that said, Shireen, I'm in the rooms that I know what sort of bloody decisions they make. And I asked, so what do you want to do? And said, well, I'm not going to put my name against it. I'm not going to sign it. So basically, he was choosing to be silent. Of course, he couldn't leave the job and flip the table and say, no, I'm out of it. He couldn't. But he was deciding to withdraw the basically not announcing or not declaring what he believes. So if you detect that in yourself, that you're just kind of like, you know what, I'm not going to put my name against this. If you're not actively participating in moving an agenda forward, probably that's a sign that something internally is not sitting well for you. And because of your commitment to the role, you're not able to voice it. So that's what I want you to be monitoring. Basically, anything ethical. That it's not the problem or the challenge with ethical concerns is that it's not black and white. You can always debate for or against it. But there's one person that always knows if it's right or not, and that's you. So the fact that you just be aware of it and admit it to yourself, that's good enough for you to know what's your next move. The moment you have clarity, you can make a decision. And the last one is the growth stagnation. Anything in this world needs to grow. A kid needs to grow. A plant needs to grow. And if it's not, something is off. Same applies to you. When it comes to learning something new, the more senior you become, the amount of learning, the type of learning, and the amount of learning minimizes. You've done 20 tenders, major throughout your life, big deals. So the 21st one is not going to be the most anything new for you. Yeah, okay, some clauses and some negotiations are going to be different, but you're not going to learn anything. This is the key thing about learning, and here's what I'm going to give you. That's how I know that I'm truly learning around. Is that when I don't know the result is good or not good. A lot of education or learning that we require at this stage is not tied to any qualification. The path is not clear. It's not like past university or high school that the steps are clear and here's the exam and you pass or don't pass. A lot of those things, a lot of those progress paths, they're not defined anymore for us. So what do? Are we learning or not? The key thing that will tell us if it's like true learning or not is that we are not sure of its outcome. Otherwise, if you think, oh, I just learned a new software, a new algorithm, a new team, a new business unit, these are, yes, you have not done this exact thing before, but you're not learning really. And one of the signs for boredom is one of the signs that you are just got it stuck and stagnated where one is boredom. The other one for me is that I start looking around for other types of role, completely random. Can I have a cafe? Can I have a jazz bar? Can I have I don't know, indoor golf thing? Whatever. Can I just become a football coach? Things that are significantly different to the space of that we are currently. So that's what I would start monitoring and bringing awareness to know, is it like really time for me to move on? And like I said, the internal triggers are the ones that do not get quiet. And the pain or the desire for doing something better or more interesting or more impactful gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So the sooner you gain the awareness as what is it that truly bothering me and what are my options and what are my next step, the sooner you can address it, and you can save a lot of heartache and headache for yourself and for your family and for the teams that you're leading. So if you are in this space and the things that I'm sharing with you resonates and you can detect some of those stuff, I invite you to join me for a leadership audit call. This is not a normal Myers-Briggs or DISC, or I don't know, zodiac sign test. It's truly looking at where you are and seeing what are the things that you need to do as a leader to define what's the next step. And in this call, leadership audit call, firstly, you get truly clarity as what needs to be done for you. Second one is you walk out with a clear action plan. Like you exactly know what you're doing, what you're not doing, what's missing, what's doing well, and you will be able to make a decision as what's next for you. These are really coaching calls. They're not assessment, really. And that's it. 2 types of triggers: internal, external. Internal never gets quiet. External, you get to manage it. And they all have signs, and most of them is with the feelings that you've got. And if you have had any of these indicators, cues, it's time for you to look into it, make sense of it, and do something about it. All right, my friend, that's all I had prepared and researched for you for today. And until next Tuesday, another talk. I hope you have a lovely week, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place, hopefully different topic. Have a lovely day. Bye.